Clinton under fire, accused of downplaying the scandal at the Veterans Affairs hospitals and VA clinics across the country. Clinton says the problems are real, but they're not as, quote, widespread as Republicans claim. Pete Hegseth, CEO of Concerned Veterans for America and Fox's contributor. Pete, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You have been very outspoken on this issue. This is part of what Clinton said late this weekend.
I don't understand why we have such a problem, because there have been a number of surveys of veterans, and overall, veterans who do get treated are satisfied with their treatment. It's not been as widespread as it has been made out to be.
So her big point is that it's not as bad as you think. Now, what do you think of that?
My big point is that shows you how out of touch Hillary Clinton is. The fact that she doesn't understand how bad it is at the Department of Veterans Affairs shows you how detached she is from the reality of everyday people, and in this case, everyday veterans who wait 30, 60, 90 days for care. She says she doesn't understand because the surveys inside the VA are good. Well, once you get inside the VA, you might get good care, but it's nearly impossible in some cases to get a timely appointment. That was the manifestation of the scandal that was across the country, that's been on headlines for over a year and a half, frankly, and she's downplaying it.
That's an interesting point. Once you're on the inside, the care is good, but trying to get in is difficult. But would you admit that the VA has gotten better? Has it improved under Bob McDonald and his new leadership?
No, absolutely not. In fact, the New York Times just last month released a report that wait times are up. It's only gotten worse. Talk to veterans across the country. We do every day. The survey she referred to is an internal VA survey where they chose existing patients at the VA. We just polled veterans across America. 90% of them demand reform. 90% want accountability. 90% want choice to go to a private provider if the VA can't help them. Veterans are fed up. They're fed up with the status quo, a bureaucracy that can't handle them in a timely way. And Hillary Clinton is pointing at people like me, like Concerned Vets for America and others, and saying, you're politicizing it. You just want to privatize the system. Absolutely not. We want it to work, and we want to know what her solutions are. And when she was asked about it, she said, we'll send a SWAT team. We'll send a SWAT team to the VA. What kind of solution is that? Well, it would have been nice if she'd sent a SWAT team to Benghazi, but I'll leave that there. She has no new ideas at the VA, just more money, more staff.
What about her comment about the ideological agenda that she referred to, that Republicans, and you just mentioned it, that they want the system privatized? They can get their hands on it, break down the federal government system that way.
Bill, it's called fresh ideas. It's called what's been tried for decades at the VA, building larger hospitals, spending more money, hiring more staff. I mean, the VA staff is twice the size of the Marine Corps today. Their budget has tripled since 9/11, and veterans are still waiting over 90 days for an appointment. Can you imagine if Hillary Clinton had to wait 90 days for a health care appointment? She'd be screaming about it every single day, but she doesn't because she's detached. The reality is this system is broken, and the fresh ideas of holding people accountable so they can be fired, or giving a veteran a choice. When a veteran can choose a private provider or a VA facility, which is not privatization, that incentivizes the VA facility to compete for that veteran as a customer, which changes the entire dynamic internally. Now they've got to provide customer service as opposed to treating veterans like numbers.
So what you're arguing, though, is that some privatization would be good for the veterans, right? I mean, that's what I hear you saying.
Not privatization, Bill. Private options. Not privatization. Private options. The dollars follow the veterans, so their dollars can follow them to a VA facility that
so then your care is specialized care. Your care is portable, and you have more options.
Every veteran wants options. Every American wants options. Why should they be stuck in a second-class system? Hillary Clinton thinks she's just going to double down, just like Bernie Sanders, on a failed system. More money's not going to fix this, Bill. It's fresh ideas. And when asked about fresh ideas, her only fresh idea was appointing a SWAT team. That is not a fresh idea. We haven't heard anything from her about vets. Thankfully, a lot of Republican candidates, whether it's Rubio, Cruz, Fiorina, across the board, are talking about veterans, giving them options, pushing for choice, pushing for accountability. Those are the fresh ideas that veterans have been demanding, and we're fighting for.
Fresh ideas everywhere. We can use them. Thank you. Pete Hegseth in Minneapolis today. We'll see you in New York later in the week. Thank you, Pete.